All right, this is my Advanced American Nation, Chapter 15 Reflection, double check to make sure this is advanced. So this chapter is called The Spirit of Reform. It's sort of a step back from the linear progression of history that we do. And we basically take a step back and say, what kind of changes happened socially in the 1800s? And really, we even, at one point, talk about the year when women get the right to vote, I think in 1920. So it's a very broad step back, but it's a short chapter, 3 lessons. Lesson 1 is kind of your random catch-all, like hospital reform, prison reform, changes about how people feel about mental health, and things like that. 2 is all about the abolition movement. It's a whole lesson on the abolition movement. And then 3 is really segued by a lot of the abolitionists were women, and then they're like, oh, what? We don't have any rights either. So you segue into the women's movement there in lesson 3. A lot of good female role models, African American role models in this chapter. So I imagine it's an enjoyable chapter for many. Not a whole lot of issues with this one. I didn't have any issues. It's a shorter chapter. I made some generic notes for really class in general. Let's see. Yep. We got that fixed already. All right. One thing is, depending on what week it was, we had a virtual lesson on Black History Month, African American History Month. One note I made was to maybe change the video in the virtual lesson. It's embedded in the Nearpod, because the video I have has an ad at the beginning. And while it never really has been a problem, like there's never an ad for like Viagra or anything like that in there. If I could find a different video without an ad, that would save us 30 seconds. So that basic thing. That and I met with the social studies department this week, and Gersel had an idea about doing a research paper. Really, there was a question posed about how much research papers we do. And Gersel said he was thinking about doing one and really parsing it down and breaking it down and parsing it out. And I like that idea, and I took it. And I think this year I might, since we went a chapter further this year than we had to, or last year than we had to, maybe instead of doing an extra chapter this year, I'll remove that chapter. I think it was 22, and do a research paper instead. Just an idea I'm throwing out there. I very well might do it. I want to make sure I do my last SLO before we get there, or I'm going to get buried in grading in the last couple days of the year. Noted. Alright, so that means I should probably do SLL 2 pretty quick then, huh? Alright, interesting thoughts here. 15 went fine. We had the vocab assignment. You always get entertaining submissions. Quiz, current event. What was our assignment? Oh, favorite female in history. Oh, we always get interesting answers for that. A lot of them are from the lesson, but not always. Sometimes, and I get a lot of moms. That's cool. Let's see how we did on the test. Check that speed grader. I still need to grade. I've only graded I started grading yesterday. I only graded one person. There's an essay question on this one, so I don't have any grades yet. Darn it. That's right. They just did it yesterday. Well, let's take a look at. Let's just parse through 40, 38. Yeah, advanced usually does pretty well in the 95 and up range. Oh, there's one that'll be maybe a B. So it's looking like they're probably going to do pretty well on this one. All right, that's it. The virtual lesson went well too. We had a virtual lesson specific to the spirit of reform. it just went well. Pretty average chapter. And then all of a sudden gear up for war again. It gets pretty exciting for the rough and tumble crowd. Anyways, yep, that's 15. And hey, have a good one.